In this video, we're going to be doing the layout for our time plan. And what I'm going to start with is showing that beneath here I have unused columns. What I could do is I could right click on it and I could say hide column. And I wouldn't have any, it says add a new column, but right now there's actually none. What I would do then is I would place my cursor over this line here, left click and hold it down and then drag it over here. And if I want to place it correctly, I could just place it like close to it, release, and then just double click on it and I'll jump over. What I want to do over here is I want to make my time scale correct. I want to make some grid lines, for instance, so it's easier for me to say when I look at the outline proposal, I can actually see it over here. So we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to start by changing my time scale. Right click on it and then left click on time scale. I'm going to start by saying I want 3 tiers, and I'm going to start at the bottom one, and at the bottom one bottom one I want months. And right now it says it won't allow me to do that, and the reason it won't allow me to do that is because I need to scroll out some. Like this, because it's not going to allow me to do it otherwise. So I'm going to right click, time scale, the bottom, I'm going to say months. Oh, and that's because this one has months. That's not that good, so we're going to change this one to quarters, and again thirds of months. We're going to press that one to weeks just to make it work with us. What is the top one? That's quarters. I want that half years, like this. Middle tier, I want that quarters, and the bottom one I want that as months. You have to notice out here, months could be like this. The middle, quarters, you decide how you want it to look like. Just make it really simple for yourself, and figure out a system, and try to use that system all through all your projects. I'm going to use this one, the top one, again first, second half. Well, I'm going to be using this one, and notice that I choose the ones that actually show the years, for instance at the middle in the top tier, because it's kind of nice to see what year you're working in. Once you've done that, press OK, and my time schedule, or my Gantt out here, it makes it quite small in here. If I press Control P like this, I can actually go down to page setup. I can say I want to fit it to one page like this, and press OK. And I might want to choose an A3 like that. Let's see, fit to page, okay. Sometimes it doesn't show you the changes and you just have to go back and press Control P again. And something tells me that I might want to change a little bit on this one, because I'm not seeing that much. Again, annoying, I can't scroll. There you go. I may be able to zoom in a little bit more. Again, I'm going to press Control P, and there you have it. It looks much better now. Go back, what I want to do is, if you notice here, and if I go to the front here, I have one there too. If I right click in here and say grid lines, those two at the start at the end are actually the project start. I'm going to remove it to like this, and the project finish, and like that. Press OK, and they disappear. The green line, the line you should always remove, in my opinion, is actually I'm doing a project that is supposed to start the 6th of October, and actually you can see I'm actually working in February, like almost 4 or 5 months after the project started. So what you do is you right click, you say grid lines again. Instead of going down to the bottom to the project start, project finish, use the one that's called current date, and you remove it like that and say OK. What I want to do now is I want to add the lines for the vertical and the horizontal, or probably I don't need the vertical ones. I would actually just prefer the vertical ones, but again, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to say grid lines, I'm going to say the middle tier column, I'm going to say I want that as a white, darker 15%. I'm going to do the same for the bottom one, like that, and say OK. What you need to be aware of is the columns that I just did, the middle tier, the bottom tier. If I right click in here, say grid lines again, the middle tier is actually dividing the weeks. The bottom tier column is the one dividing days. If I want it to do months, I actually have to take the one that's called the top tier column, like that, and place it so forth. And it really doesn't change because right now I'm seeing it in months. But if I had had days or weeks down here, it would have made a difference. The next thing I want to place are the lines going this way, the horizontal lines. I did the vertical. I'm sorry, I said one thing but did another. So I'm going to do the grid lines, and I'm going to be the Gantt rows. Those are going to be the horizontal ones, white darker 15%, like this. And now I have the rows so I can see it this way, but I can also see the months. The last thing that we need to do before doing our page setup is we need to right click and go down to non-working time. Non-working time, we need to place it in front of the task bars, like okay, like this. And we can't really see it that well, and that's because if I scroll in, or I can't do that, if I do it like this, oh, you can also see the other lines. That means I can see the vacations, I can see the holidays, the weekends, and stuff like that. But if you notice, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, you see I have double lines, and that was if I grid lines and I went down here, the middle tier, actually I didn't need it, and at the bottom tier I didn't need that one either, because I had my weeks like this. If I zoom out again, it won't let me, so we're going to do it manually like this. What I need, I want the months. Again, grid lines, top tier, this one, white darker, so forth. But again, it depends on what you want to show. If I press Control P now and look at it, I can't really see anything up there because it's so compressed. But I'm going to do something. I'm going to have years in the top. Years in the middle. I'm going to have quarters. And at the bottom, I'm going to have months. Like this. Control P. And I have everything in here right now. I can see the phases. I can see where it runs from. October, July. It's kind of compressed, isn't it? I'm just gonna scroll in a little bit like that. See how it looks now. It's still kind of hard to see. Again, you have to try to see how it looks. It was okay, but I just wanted, instead of seeing every third month, I prefer to see it like this. First half, second half, first quarter, second, yeah. Control P. It's kind of pressed up here, so what you could do is you could remove some of the text up here. I could go back and show you. Right click, time scale. Under quarters, instead of having that much, I just could call it, what should we call it? Like that. And under months, we could just give it January, February, March, April, you know. Okay. And if I look at under the Control P, it's much easier to read now. The last thing we're going to be looking at in the design is down here in our legends. We're going to be going back to remove the ones that we don't use. I'm going to be going right click and I'm going to go down to what is called bar styles, like this. And all the ones that I don't use, I'm going to be placing a star in front of. For instance, right now I'm not using split. Shift star to place one like that. Milestone I'm using, the summary, the project summary I'm using. And I'm going to be scrolling down because there's quite few. And you could cut the row, but if you need it later on, it's kind of annoying because you then have to create them all manually. It's, in the long run, it's quicker to do it like this. If you're having a hard time getting to or being allowed to edit in here, you can press or mark it, press F2, and then do it like that. I know it's a bit annoying, you just can't place the cursor in front of it. Sometimes it lets you, other times it just teases you. So, but patience. Progress we need, the manual progress we don't need. Once I did that, I can say okay, good idea, press Control P to make sure that you got everything. And I can see right now I have progress and finish only that need to be removed. Again, right click, bar styles, and finish only, shift star, and down at the bottom I had a progress like that. There you go. Okay. Control S to save it. And it's ready. Now we just have to add our header and our footer and we can print it. So Control P, and it's out here. You do the alterations in your header. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be saying page setup. I'm going to be going up to header. Once I chose my header up here, I have three choices. I have left, center, right. I want up in my header, I want a title. I'm going to give it a title. And the title I'm going to be giving it, in this case, it's going to be Community Building for Bjarne Høj. Then I want what you can call it, a revision date. And today's date is the 3rd of 4th, or sorry, the 2nd, 2015. Then I want what you call it, the responsibility. Responsibility. And who should I give it? I'm just gonna give it to Roto. That's me. And then to make sure that it's added, always at the last line press enter so you get a line beneath it. And my center, I don't want anything. My right, I don't want anything either. I'm gonna take my footer. Down at my left side, I don't want anything. And my center, I'm gonna be erasing because right now I have it all on one page, so I don't want page one out of nothing. The right side, I'm going to be placing date created. Again, in this option, I'm going to be saying what date is it today? It's the 3rd of the 2nd, 2015. And I'm going to be saying fine to that. I'm going to be going to my legend, and here on my left, again, I get three options. Actually, it's saying it's the 4th, 2nd. Well, okay, I'll live with that. I'm going to be erasing this because I don't want this stuff down there. And instead, I'm going to be writing legend down here. Once I've done that, press OK. Oh, sorry, don't press OK yet. You need to go to the options here, or sorry, view, and remove the print blank page. That's kind of annoying. Then you can press OK. And once you pressed OK, you can see all the things we just did: the title, the revision date, responsibility, created, and the legend. Now I'm ready to print it, and I'm going to be printing it as a PDF. So I choose my PDF, I say print, and I'm going to be placing it on my desktop like this. I'm going to place myself at the end, erase that, go at the other end, call it overall time plan. Save it. And then it's creating it. and I can go back. I can save this file. And here it is. We did an overall time plan for our project. Oh, something went wrong here. I'm gonna have to redo this one. My printer. We're gonna do another print. That was strange. Save. Yes, we want to replace it. And it says my PDF has been created. That was strange. Uh, anyway, the principle is you do it like that and it should generate. I do not know what my printer is doing right now. Whatever it's happening, it is not doing it correct. Let's just save it without renaming it at all. It keeps doing the same thing. Well, the principle is that's how you do it. I don't know what's happening with my printer right now. Some is coming, some is not. So that's all I wanted to show in doing the overall time plan. I hope you enjoyed it and you can use it in your further work.